Now is the time for questions. If you guys have any questions for me.
Yeah, hi, this is Steven here.
Hi, hi,
Yeah,
Steven.
so I have a couple of questions. First of all, thanks for this webinar. It has helped a lot to understand the cloud and all that. So it was very good. Actually, I am from the information security background, and I'm planning to move into
Okay,
cloud. So the major
okay.
challenge I see, like my friends, when they applied for the cloud jobs, the company is asking for the experience first of all, and like as
Mm-hmm.
we already have the experience into information security and we wanted to move into cloud security, so how we should justify there? That is my main concern.
Okay. Now, thing is, until unless you're talking in terms of security, right? Now, talking about myself, I also come from a security background. I've shared my fair share of network application and IoT security back in the days, and now, I'm talking in terms of cloud security, right? So for security professional specifically, I think it is very easy to justify experience for a particular service. Right now, with the job description in 2020, they even want a fresher who can do network application and cloud-based pen test, which is not fair. But again, whenever you study or whenever you go through a technology, you should go with too much of hands-on into that particular technology. Now, when you go with hands-on thingies, what happens is you get to learn the technology in a way that you have experienced it for yourself, which makes it really easy for you to justify all those questions which are asked to you during the interviews. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, I got it. But like actually, what happens? Like AWS gives the account to create and explore the things, but like lots of the practical, like if you need to go with the as you mentioned in the security topics, there is some extra like monetary things are involved. So sometimes we need to restrict ourselves to explore that things
Hmm. Yeah.
because nowadays as you said rightly they are asking for the containers and everything. They want like the one person should know each and everything, which is bit difficult initially if we are moving into the cloud security.
Yep, absolutely. So that's why hands-on, and that's why we also go for trainings at times, right? Because maybe there are limitations for you as a person not exploring those paid services because you don't have an idea about how much it can cost you out, right? So that's why we generally go out for trainings where the trainer is doing all those practicals, which are the paid ones, and you can focus and you can pay attention, and the trainer can also guide you how much it will cost you so you can decide whether it is there within your learning budget to be spent on learning that particular technology. Fine.
Yeah, thank you for answering.
Thank you. Any more questions for me, guys?
I have a quick question, if I could please. Does the exam have any labs, or it's more theoretical?
Okay, so exam don't have labs, but exam have scenario based questions, right? So while you are studying or while you are going through your AWS certified security curricula, make sure you go through in a way that you practice most of those things, because when you will sit for the exam, the question will focus more on a scenario and less on a particular you know theoretical bit around it. Fine.
Got it. Thank you.
Yep. And Omkar, yes, we have mock exams to practice before you can actually sit for the exam, because again, so that you can get good idea into, how exactly that exam will look like in front of you.
Hi, Akshay. Murli here.
Hi, Murli. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, hello.
actually, I'm into automation testing, Selenium and all.
Okay. Okay.
Right now, having around 10 years experience. But thing is
Awesome.
that I want to get into this security right now, and mainly the cloud testing. Okay, because there
Okay.
was a pressure in my office to also the person who has experience. Okay,
Okay.
so right now I don't have any knowledge of the security. So basic knowledge you can say, very basic knowledge.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So is it the right thing because we are getting some 2 to 3 projects for this cloud and cloud testing as well as the cloud migration testing.
Okay.
So if I go with this course, will this be helpful?
Uh, okay. So to be very honest, right,
Hmm.
directly going for this course might not help you a lot, right?
Okay.
And that is me being bluntly honest, means I don't just really want you to register for this course and, I will deliver that training for you. So to be bluntly honest, there is a course which goes by with the name Security Plus. right?
Okay.
And if what you can do, you can grab all the open resources for Security Plus. There is a website with the name libgen.io which gives you all the study material, right? So go to that website, grab yourself a book for it, go through that resource, right? And you will get a very very fair idea of security in there, right? So once you
Okay.
have that fair idea of security, how security as a posture looks like, post that, I would say this course would be absolutely beneficial for you.
So even for the migration kind of things also.
Yeah, so basically, we don't really talk about all the testing in this particular course, but there is one small module which talks about penetration and vulnerability assessment testings, right? So
Okay.
that will guide you. But when it comes to cloud, you should not just know testing, you should know the environment you are testing, right?
Right.
Because now typically you're not testing server, you're testing an EC2 instance, and when you are doing that, there are a lot of things attached to it. There might be a ELB, there might be a security group, there might be a lot of things. So you should at least know how the structure looks like, and this course helps you with the structure. On the other hand, Security Plus helps you with mapping that security posture to how it should actually look like.
Can you repeat what the website you said for Security Plus?
So yeah, it's not for Security Plus. It's for getting any reading resources that you want. So you can also get it from
Okay.
PacketPub. That is a common one, right?
Okay. Okay.
Or
Fine.
if you want a free
Can you
one,
please
means
ping that in chat window,
Yeah. Yeah.
definitely we'll
the
do that.
websites?
Yeah, give me a sec.
That would be helpful. Yeah.
So this website keep on changing its URL. So it back in the days it used to be libgen.io, but I think right now if you open it, it is running on libgen.li.
Okay.
Right? I've given both of that in the chat. So you can go there and you can,
Okay.
you know, yeah. So Vikas,
Thank
for
you.
AWS
Thank you, Abhishek.
security,
It was a very good session.
thanks. Thanks a lot for that. Fine. So moving to
Yeah.
your
I
question,
posted
Vikas.
some questions in chat window.
Yeah, fine. We'll get to those. Cool. So yeah, coming to Vikas, Vikas, your question for AWS security, what are the certification path? Now, in terms of that, like I mentioned it for you, in order to learn security, because it mostly talks about, you know, different things or different services that are already there in AWS and how you can use them to strengthen your security posture. So the correct path would be AWS Architect Associate and then going for AWS Security. So we already provide that as a combo. If you want any more details in terms of that particular course, you can actually reach out to this particular mail ID, sales@infosectrain.com, and they should give you all the details in terms of this particular course, the combo which I'm talking about. Fine.
Hi, hi Abhishek, this is Shashi here. So I just
Hi,
wanted some
Shashi.
clarification and just a approaching path. How I'm Security Plus certified, CompTIA Security Plus, and I right now I'm preparing for CSSP, as you are holding
Uh,
CSSP. So I'm kind of needs a direction from you. Like, should I continue CSSP, preparing for CSSP, or can I switch for AWS just for the better job security and I mean a kind of holding some certification in that is the booming market. So what should be the approach for me?
So that would actually be a very wrong question because you are comparing CISSP with another certification, right? For that matter, no two certifications have a comparison. They both have their own independent value. If I talk about AWS security or if I talk about CISSP, they both have their own independent values. Uh,
Mhm.
Going for CISSP totally depends on your number of years of experience that you have, right? And the reason we are talking in terms of AWS security is because right now it is one of the emerging technologies out in the market, right? Every organization out there, if you want to pick one, pick any one of them, and every organization is moving towards the cloud, right? And in almost around 33% of those scenarios, that cloud is AWS. Like I was telling you guys, that AWS is already there with AWS is already holding around 33% of the market share right now, right? So that's why it is one of the most done and mostly learned certification out there in the market. So if you want to follow a path where you want to get into cloud, then you might want to start with AWS security, and then CCSP, right? The path for CISSP is a different one, which you I think which you are currently on, right? So if you are like halfway through your CISSP practice, I would say continue with your CISSP. Or if you
Okay.
want to, if you think cloud is more intriguing and it is giving you good career opportunities, then at the point you can grab cloud. You can get yourself like, AWS associate, security, and CCSPs, and then down the line, 2 years down the line, you can go for, or 1 year down the line, you can go for CISSP. Means it totally depends on what exact career path do you have in mind.
Okay. Yeah. Basically, I'm on GRC domain. I'm working on GRC domain, and I have a goal set up for CSSP. So I just wanted to just clarify. Wanted to have clarification. Like what path should I pick? And thank you. That clarified my question.
Yeah, this course only we are talking about AWS, it's Azure or security and Google Cloud security. We are not talking about, only we are concentrating AWS.
Yeah, so in this particular session and in this particular course, yes, we are concentrating on AWS and AWS security. Again, like you can see on my screen, the mail ID, we do provide, things in terms of Azure and Azure security. So if you want to inquire about that, you can reach to that number or you can reach on that mail ID.
Okay, okay. So we are not combined with that, no, all these things one shot.
I don't think it's very fair to combine two technologies in one, right? It would basically be like learning C and learning Java at the same time, right? So
Yeah,
basically the whole syntax and semantic differ for both of them, but if you understand any one of them, it becomes easy for you to understand the second one, right? But
understood. But the
you
basic
should
thing
not
is
really.
outside market. So everywhere, their security, wherever we go, that the question is that you have that all these three platforms, AWS or Azure or Google. So that's where the
Yes.
question.
So like I said, right? So AWS, since it is the biggest share right now, right? In terms of services and in terms of market share, either way, right? So the reason people prefer going for AWS in the first place is because it gives you idea into a lot of services, and then down the line you can go for Azure security and you can parallelly go for Google Cloud security. It becomes really easy for you to understand those. There is just a change in terminology, right? You cannot change network, you cannot change storage. Only thing you can change is name for that storage and name for that network, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
So that directly, then second question for me, that no, if it is going to be select that no Google, that no cloud security. So everybody's said that no, you have to basic certification. You're supposed to have that AWS or Azure no architect, at least basic things. Then you can start with that no the security. Is that the way, the pathway?
See, like if I tell you about the combo that we are pitching right now, so it is AWS Architect Associate and it is AWS Security, right? And the
Yeah.
end goal of this training program is to get you AWS Security certified, right?
Okay.
Right. So once you
Okay.
produce your certificate for AWS Security, everyone out in the market knows that you cannot get security certificate until unless you have associate knowledge, isn't it?
Knowledge. Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
when you had that associate knowledge, then only you were able to grab a certificate for AWS security, and that is the bitter truth, isn't it? So no one
Right.
is going to question your architect skills or your, those sort of skills in terms of AWS.
Okay. Okay. Fine then. Okay.
Right. Cool.
Yeah. Fine
Coming
then.
to
Yeah.
Priyanka's question, I been jumped from associate specialty means I didn't actually get it, Priyanka. So if you can please elaborate that a bit. Uh, in the meantime, moving on to Vikas' question, what should we go for, CCSP or specific cloud? So Vikas, even if you go for CCSP, you will need to have good command on one of those clouds. So let it be AWS, Azure, or GCP, right? So I recommend if you have good hands-on with Azure, then it becomes easy for you to understand as well as crack CCSP as well. I
Yeah.
hope that makes sense.
Thank you, Abhishek. Yeah, definitely. Thanks, Abhishek.
Yeah. Coming to question from Satyaprabha. So you asked that what is data encryption at rest? Can we use data encryption in cloud for on-premise solutions? So when I use the term data encryption at rest, I simply means when that data is sitting at a particular place. Right now, in this particular system, I have all my data stored in, let's say, C drive, right? So if I enable BitLocker on my C drive, that simply means now all my data on my system at rest is now encrypted. right? So similarly, cloud also gives you that feature where you can encrypt all your data, which is sitting there in the cloud. The data will be in the encrypted format. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, yes, Abhishek. Yeah, thanks. Can we use? Okay, okay, no problem. Yeah, clear.
Yeah, perfect. Any more question, guys?
Yeah, I have two more questions.
Yep.
Is the Google Drive public cloud?
Okay. Now, it depends, right? What part of it is that you want to make public, isn't it? Google Drive is a cloud which is available for everyone, but if you ask for your specific account, it is private, isn't it? So when I say
Okay.
public cloud, it is something which should be accessible to everyone,
Mm-mm.
right? Let's say
Okay.
Wikipedia, that could be a public cloud, isn't it?
Mm.
Because that is
So when I
actually
have my
accessible to
account,
everyone.
then it will be a private,
Absolutely.
right? Same
Yeah.
case in case of Netflix also, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Right. Omkar, this particular course, it is for somewhere around 52 hours, 50 to 52 hours. And if you talk about generally extending, it totally depends on the group of people in the batch. Sometimes we get a really curious crowd. So, when we are talking in terms of a curious crowd, you guys have a lot of questions. You guys want to see a lot of scenarios, and we as a trainer, we really want to cover all those things for you since you have opted for the training. So yes, at times it might get extended, but so if I was you, I will not bet on those 50 hours. Means it might get extended in case there are more queries or there are more concerns in terms of any new thing coming into the picture, right? Talking about Rushabh Mehta. Hi Rushabh. So this training simply provides you training for both these courses, architect associate and security specialty. If you want to appear for exam, it is very fair with AWS. You can simply get yourself an account, or if you want us, we can get you exam vouchers and you can take the exam, right? So basically, we simply provide trainings and you guys can take care of the exams. Any more questions? Anyone? Fine then, guys. I would say it was a really good way to spend my Friday evening with you guys. Brinda, all these slides and the video will be uploaded on the Google, so you can keep following us on InfoSec Train or LinkedIn or any other social media, and you will receive all those resources on the internet. And again, any queries, any questions, any terms in term or right in form of what this training is or what exactly do you need? We have the ID is right in front of you. It is sales@infosectrain.com. You guys can reach it. The mobile number is out there. You can drop a WhatsApp. You can give a call, and your queries will be answered. Right. Omkar, if you ask me, I generally don't, I really push all the candidates to take the exam 1 week after the training because by that time things are pretty fresh in your minds. And, we do prefer to cover most of the things during the training. So if you take take a week time for revision and hit the exam, it gives you a very good passing rate. And I'm very proud to say that we are currently hitting over 98% passing 98% passing percentage for AWS security specialty as well as architect associate. And yes, Brinda, a lab environment is necessary because we have to practice all those things. So basically, for trainees, we make sure that we give you all the practicals which are freely available, and all the paid practicals which are there. We as a trainer, we generally demonstrate all those for you. So you might want to keep an eye during the training for all those paid practicals being demonstrated in front of you. Yeah, your personal laptop for the lab should work because as you know, AWS is a cloud, right? All you need to have is a browser and you can access the cloud. Fine then, guys. Thanks a lot for joining today and see you guys around. Stay safe, stay healthy. Cheers, guys. Take care.